Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, January 25th in the NBA. My five best bets are on the way for an action-packed slate in the association. Yesterday, they gave us 3 games. Today, I think we got 14. We're going to dive into our favorite picks in just one moment. If you are new, my name is Austin. As always, we do a recap of yesterday, our third straight sweep. The problem is that one's not a great one. On Wednesday, we went 0-3. Thursday, we went 6-0. And then yesterday, 0-2. Now, yesterday, I feel like we kind of got unlucky. We had Tyrese Maxey's under in assists. I mean, I obviously didn't expect the Sixers to score whatever, 125, 130. He ends with 7 assists right on the hook. And then we had CJ McCollum under in points. Of course, he goes under his regular line at 23.5. First quarter, he scores 10 points. He scored his 10th point, hit a 3 with, I think, like 58 seconds left in the first quarter. Shot 4 for 6. I think in yesterday's video, I brought up when he shoots 6 or fewer times, he's under in like 80 or 90% of games. But I guess just didn't go our way. But either way, we got a big slate today. I might add some plays. I don't really know. It's kind of overwhelming when you get this many games on a slate, and a lot of games that I really think are going to be good games, knock on wood. But we'll dive into our favorite picks here. If there are any added plays, obviously check the pinned comment. I have games basically the entire day. There's games starting at 12, which I won't be touching, the Pacers and Spurs rematch. And there's games at like 3, 5:30. A lot of games today. Let's dive in the first play, and it's going to be a mini ladder, if you will. It is going to be on our boy Mark Williams of the Charlotte Hornets. Now, he is their center, if you don't know who he is. Now, right now, if you look at his lines, you might see an 18.5 line at minus 120. I don't want to play that when I can take a 19.5 at plus 125. So I played the 19.5 for 1 unit at plus 125. I played a half unit on him to score 25 or more points at plus 425 on BetMGM. Now, 19.5, 18.5, obviously you can play that for 1 unit. For the 25 plus line, I want to make sure I get at least plus 250. If you're not getting better than that, don't bother playing it. But plus 425, great value on BetMGM. I love this. Now, why are we risking 1.5 units on a center in Mark Williams? And I'll talk about why right now. Now, Mark Williams, he has really had an up and down season this year, largely due to injuries, but recently he's come on strong, and I really like this spot for him. Now, my apologies. I forgot to put the slides for the picks at the bottom of the screen, so you just have to pay attention. I know, a big ask for y'all. Now, Mark Williams, like I said, you can get 18.5 out there. I just don't want to pay minus 120 when I could get plus 125 for 1 more point. But again, you look at Mark Williams, I'm more so concerned about these last few games. I just want to look at games where LaMelo's in. Now, yesterday the Hornets played. LaMelo was out. Brandon Miller's out for the season. Get well soon. Miles Bridges was out. My guess is they rested LaMelo, and I anticipate him playing today. Now, I don't really want to look at the most, those games where he's playing very few minutes. Nick Richards is in the lineup. Really want to look at these last 5 games. We've seen him score 24, 31, 19, 13, and 38 points. These are with LaMelo. Yesterday, he didn't have him. He scored 15. We've seen the volume pretty good. 12 field goal attempts here, 10 free throw attempts, 31 points here. I mean, what does this guy do? He shoots at the rim. I mean, look at where he scores his points. 81% are in the restricted area. Why is that a good matchup against the Pelicans? Because they rank 29th there. They give up the second most field goal attempts in the restricted area. Now, they're trying to limit you getting there, but when you get there, you have a lot of success. And we see how Mark Williams scores. He can score via cutting. That's kind of hard to rank. But as the pick and roll, as the roller, pretty good matchup here and really good at putbacks. And we look at Mark Williams, if you want to go to his rebounds, this stat line is at 12.5. He hasn't even, he got over in these games. He's under in 2 straight with 9 rebounds. That's with LaMelo, 2 straight 9 rebounds. I think he gets some offensive rebounds here. We've seen opposing centers take advantage of this matchup. I mean, Walker Kessler scored 19 against him. His line was 12.5. Drew Eubanks the game before at 17. Vooch got 22. Kristaps 19. Again, those are 2 guys that are shooting a ton of threes, not attacking the rim or not, scoring down low. I just think this is an absolute smash spot for Mark Williams. If he doesn't come through, whatever, I'll live with it. But again, I think it's a great spot. If he doesn't get us to 19.5, that's fine. I think he has a lot of volume here. My only main concern here, Zion Williamson did not play yesterday for the Pelicans. I anticipate him playing tonight, and Mark Williams does have the tendency to get into foul trouble. And obviously, we know Zion puts a lot of pressure on guys at the rim. That's my only concern, is him getting into foul trouble. But heck, if you were to look at this game against the Grizzlies, pretty sure he got into foul trouble here. Still got out to 38 points. So again, not too concerned about it. That would be my one concern for Mark Williams, if maybe he can't get enough minutes. But again, if he stays out of foul trouble, this is a guy that's probably going to see 30, 36 minutes. I love his matchup tonight against a very paint-friendly Pelicans roster. I'll take his over. Then we move to our second second pick. If you want to count that as two, whatever. We'll move on to this guy. You should know him. Giannis. I love his over tonight at 33.5 points plus assists, minus 120 on Bet365. I'd play it at 24.5. I also like his over in points, but the hit rate on points plus assists is better. And God forbid the Clippers want to double him on drives. We do have the upside for him kicking it out to some shooters and maybe him getting to, 8 to 10 assists. We know Giannis is almost an auto 20 plus points. He's an absolute freak. We all know that. Now, Giannis, obviously, him and the Bucks played a couple days ago against the Heat. But let's talk more about Giannis in this matchup and why I really like the points plus assists here. I forgot to mention at the top of the show, if you're still here, NFL playoff videos dropping at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We've been dominant in the playoffs, 12-2. So those videos should drop pretty much back to back, maybe 30 minutes in between them. Those will drop at 12. In noontime, check those videos out. Tap in. We've been dominating the NFL. Now let's talk about Giannis. Now, you look at it, 33.5, whatever. That's the line on almost every book. 20 of his last 30, pretty dang good hit rate. If you look at this game, this is a 2-point spread. When there's games with 2-point spreads, you'd anticipate the game being closer. And when we've seen, when we've seen Giannis get 34 or more minutes, we're looking at a guy over this in 20 of 24. 2 of his misses with 33. Again, Giannis should get that amount of minutes if this game is close. The Clippers are a pretty good a team. I think this game is a pretty tight one. Now, if you look at Giannis, I think I was just talking about him. This is against the Kings. You look at Giannis' last 6 games versus Zubac. He has absolutely feasted on him. I mean, look at these last 6 games against Ivica Zubac. You'd see 36.5 points per game, 5.2 assists. I mean, he's had what is this? 41, 35, 33. So on the hook there, 54 points against him. Dominated this matchup. Now, I understand the Clippers are a pretty good defensive team here. You look at the ways Giannis scores, pretty top 10 defensive team. I don't care. I just don't. I feel like that's baked into this line where Giannis is only seeing a 28.5 points line. It's the Greek freak. I'm going to roll with him. Sure. Might not be the best matchup on paper. In my opinion, I don't care. I'll roll with him. I think he dominates. Whether it's passing the ball, they just don't have a guy that can match up against Giannis. They can do it against other guys. Giannis, not really. Kawhi's barely playing. Derrick Jones Jr., you want to put him on Giannis. That is an absolute mismatch. Just get Giannis in the post. And then you got what? Nicholas Batum off the bench. Yeah, count me in, the Greek freak. He's dominating tonight. That's my second pick. Third pick. We're going to go to our first under of the video. I only have one here. Maybe I add an under. We'll see. PJ Washington, under 16.5 points, minus 120. Bet365, a 1-unit play. Now, obviously, PJ and the Mavericks are at home here, taking on the Celtics. The Celtics are, I think, 8-point favorites. I hate this matchup for PJ Washington. I think it's a better matchup for the ball handling guards, not for a guy like PJ Washington. Now, if you look at PJ, he is over in 2 straight. Scored 30 against the Timberwolves. I mean, heck, he was very aggressive here. 22 shots, 22 points here against the Thunder. A matchup that he's actually played really well in, but I feel like we're going to get closer to one of these types of games where he gets 13 points, maybe here, 14 on 11 shots. I don't like this matchup, and here's why. Celtics rank 3rd, 6th, and 3rd defensively against his top 3 scoring methods. I mean, we've seen in his most recent 2 games, 7 and 10 free throw attempts. Now, I'd argue the Celtics are one of the teams that foul the most, but don't get the foul calls. They are one of the teams that I swear they hack, and they are paying off the refs, and they're not calling free throws. Cool with me here. Don't call the fouls here. But again, we think about who he probably guards here. He's probably guarding Jason Tatum, who's coming off a pretty bad game. So maybe look for Tatum to be more aggressive here. I hate this spot for PJ Washington. I think it's terrible. I think this line's inflated from the 13.5 that you're normally used to seeing based on the last 2 games. I'll sell high on PJ Washington. I think it's a terrible spot for him. Give me his under in points. I just think he will not be. I mean, he's going to be in trouble for foul trouble. Tough for him to get scoring opportunities here. I like the matchup for Kyrie a lot more. Blowout potential too, given the Celtics are coming off a game. They played really bad, especially on the defensive side of the court. Look for them to be more locked in today. My next play, we're going to a guy that has come onto the scene, is now the leader of the Rookie of the Year odds, Khalil Ware. I really like this spot here, over 25.5 points plus rebounds. Now, is the best matchup in the world? No, but this guy has been absolutely coming on the scene, and he's arguably their second best scorer right now. I don't think it's even arguable. Jimmy Butler's still out here. Ware has been an absolute tank, and I'll roll with him. I think the points and rebounds have some value here as they're on the road taking on the Brooklyn Nets. I don't see this game being a blowout. The Nets are pretty bad. Pretty bad. Let's just Call it how it is. Now, you look at where, and like I said, if you look at where, I mean, you can maybe get 26.5. I'm cool with it there. 25.5, maybe on a couple books. 27.5, probably as high as I would go. Obviously, where on the season, only over in 4 of 28 games. He hasn't played a lot. But again, let's just look at the games that he's played 30 or more minutes over in all 4. And these are matchups against the Clippers, who I already talked about. Giannis, not a great matchup there. I don't really care for Giannis because he's a beast. But again, against them, Spurs, you have to face Wemby. Then here are the Blazers, pretty good defensive team in terms of paint protection. And then 32 points here, or points and rebounds against the Bucks. That was a blowout. They lost by 30 points. Still played 35 minutes. So again, he has been an absolute beast where he does his damage, 52% in the paint. Again, 52% at the restricted area. That is a spot that the Nets are 23rd. What I really like about the Nets is that if you go to Tyler Hero, they rank first defensively against the pick and roll ball handler. So really good at limiting his options. I did almost take his under in threes, which is I think 3.5. This is a play I did look at. This one, 3.5 under in threes. I just didn't do it because when Jimmy Butler's out, he's cranking up 13 double-digit threes. I don't want to bank on a guy shooting like 30%. But again, points and rebounds for Khalil Ware, I have to take it. The guy's just been an absolute beast. With Jimmy, without Jimmy, he's still doing his job. And this is a team that struggles against spot-up shooting. If I had to predict, the Nets probably guard him with Nick Claxton. And Claxton doesn't want to get outside of the paint. So Ware should get some opportunities from 3. And when he's in the paint, they kind of throw up some lobs to him. He'll get some opportunities. I think this line still is too low for him. I also like the rebound opportunities. I believe the Nets give up the 6th most rebounds to opposing centers. So again, Bam literally sucks. Bam runs away from Rebs. I think it's a great spot for Khalil Ware. Though Bam, if I'm not mistaken, Bam normally plays pretty well against the Nets. Let's see. I feel like he turns it on against them. I don't really know why. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Bam's, not really. Bam sucks. Let's be honest. I'll take Khalil Ware. Give me his over in points plus rebounds. And my final play of the day will be our ladder challenge. Yesterday, we did not run it because honestly, that slate sucked. We got one today. We have so many games on today. I feel almost inclined to try to do 2. However, the games are not really spread apart. We have obviously the Pacers game pretty early at 12, and I don't really want to touch that. 3 p.m. That Nuggets T-Wolves game is maybe one I'd get interested in, but I think Ant-Man is currently questionable. So there's a chance we run 2 ladders. If we do, we'll probably do one in the Nuggets T-Wolves game. And if that's the case, I need to figure out Ant-Man's status pretty early. If we figure out if Ant-Man's playing or not, which should happen around noon, then we maybe post one for that. If we just don't see statuses there, we'll just wait to do one for later tonight. We have a lot of great games, a lot of opportunities to choose from. So it'll be tough to make a ladder because there's so many opportunities. We want to pick the right ones, but we'll figure that out later in life. So again, I'll recap the picks right here. Our first one, we have Mark Williams over on 19.5 points, as well as 25 plus points for a little half unit. Then we move on to Giannis over in points plus assists. PJ Washington's under in points. Khalil Ware's over in points plus rebounds. Those are my 4 official straight bets. If I add any, they'll be down below in the pinned comment. Of course, we'll have the ladder challenge posted later on today. Stay tuned. If we go into that Timberwolves and Nuggets game, I do like that game. I would be looking at probably Jokic for some points, maybe 20 plus points. I don't really know. We'll figure that out later in life, but stay tuned. Check out the pinned comment for any added plays. Let's have a day. And those NFL videos will be live at noon. Check them out. We've dominated the playoffs, so we have a lot of picks for tomorrow's slate of AFC championship games, NFC and AFC championship. Last note, NBA only 1 game on tomorrow. I don't even know if I'll do a video. So you know what? We'll take tomorrow off in the NBA. So no NBA video tomorrow. Isn't it the Blazers? Isn't it Thunder Blazers, if I'm not mistaken? Thunder. Let me check. Yeah, tomorrow's Portland versus the Thunder. No, that's going to be like a double-digit spread. I'm out. We won't do an NBA video tomorrow. So if you're watching this video this late, I'll put a note because people love to skip forward. No NBA video tomorrow. Boom. If you're skipping forward, no NBA video tomorrow. I'm not getting involved in that game. So check out all the pinned comment. We might add some plays. We got a big card today. Let's have a day, and I'll see you guys back again tomorrow. Not tomorrow. See you on Monday with some more picks. Either way, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's Austin signing out. Peace.